How's it going, guys? I'm here with Anthony. What's your name exactly? Because I don't want to say something offensive towards your name.
Anthony Rubery.
Rubery, okay, so not robbery, yeah, okay?
Rubbery, but with one B.
Okay,
Rubery.
so Rubery. Anthony Rubery.
Rubery, yeah.
Anthony, do you want to tell us something about you? Do you want to tell the people out there something about you?
I'm a singer. I do that kind of singy thingy with the guitar.
He's basically an Ed Sheeran wannabe. He's like Ed Sheeran's what is it? Love Child?
I'll take that.
Yeah, he did. Oh, that's a good thing, actually.
I'll take a Love Child, yeah.
Talented. So Anthony is a musician. For how long have you been a musician? When did you first perform? When you first start writing?
I've been writing since I was like in primary school. They weren't very good, but yeah, and then performing for about 4 years now. Something like that, yeah.
So quite recent in a way.
Yeah, I was quite late getting into it.
Yeah, because you meet a lot of musicians or performers in general, and they'll tell you, the first time I was on stage when I was 6.
Yeah, I mean, I did like school concerts,
yeah, obviously,
but I didn't properly get into it until I was about 16, 17.
Cool. And what made you get into music?
Well, I've always been passionate for it, and my whole family's musicians, so I kind of felt like I had to go into music.
So there was a lot of support from your family?
Definitely, yeah. And it was just one of those things where I'd written a load of songs and I was like, you know what, let's go for it. So I got in touch with a local community club that put live music on. I was like, can I have a gig? And they were like, yeah, sure.
And the talent just came naturally.
I've seen the video. I've seen the video back from the first gig. It's taken time.
You've come a long way from there.
Definitely, yeah.
So do you still have the video?
I do.
Is there up there online so I can put a link for it?
Nah, I wasn't putting that out anyway.
It's a dark secret.
It's on a locked file on my laptop that no one can see.
Will it ever come out?
If I was drunk enough. Yeah. I think if someone dared me to when I was too drunk, I'd probably agree to it and then regret it very badly.
So you think it would ruin your career?
I mean, it's not brilliant.
You know, a lot of people look it up. When you're gonna be really famous, a lot of people will be interested in seeing Anthony Rubery's first gig.
Well, get me drunk enough and I'm sure we'll get the ball rolling on that one.
So hear that, producers, you know what you have to do. Make him famous, get him drunk, and then go for it.
Do it.
I know you have an upcoming single, and we're going to talk about that a bit later on. But let's talk about, you launched an album, didn't you, before?
Yeah, I launched an EP back on the start of March. Was it? Yeah, it was the 4th of March last year? Yeah, last year. The 4th of March last year. And yeah, it did pretty well actually.
I know you mentioned at one point something about getting in the top 1 chart or something like that in Cambridge?
Oh yeah, one of the songs off of the EP, Intoxicated, I put into the Cambridge 105 unsigned chart, and it broke a couple of records and spent the full 20 weeks in the chart, which is all the maximum you can be in there for. Yeah, it was pretty good. The whole EP is just a collection of songs that I'd written when I started gigging, and I'd been playing them for about 2 years straight.
So you were really confident in them, and you knew how the audience perceived it, and you're like, okay, I can put this out there for everyone to listen to.
I thought it was about time that people probably know some of these songs now because I've been playing them for so long. May as well put it out. Yeah.
And then talking about Intoxicated, I listened to the song, and to correct me if I'm wrong, but in the beginning there's a bit of beatbox.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Are you still doing it?
I mean, when I used to do the loop pedal get up that I started out doing with, a lot of it, I had to beatbox just to get a bit of a beat going. I mean, I make a bit of a beat on the guitar, but yeah, I got into beatboxing. I don't think I'm very good at it, but I think editing can do wonders.
So I guess you don't want to do a live performance with us right now.
I suppose this is gonna look really. This is gonna be really cheesy and.
Don't worry. You said you're also playing the guitar.
Yes. Yeah.
So
we'll
do you play any other instruments other than the guitar?
I dabble. I'm a bit. Guitar was the thing that I wanted to get into when I was a kid. Like my mum and my dad had guitars lying around the house, so I was picking them up and playing them. And I had Guitar Hero, so obviously I wanted to try and transfer it across.
Guitar Hero. I could only do the vocals because I was very untalented, and the vocals were quite bad. I always had low scores, but hey.
I was always the guitarist, and like I loved just jamming the songs on Guitar Hero. So I was like, why don't we try and do it on the actual guitar?
So we makes the next big artist. That's interesting.
Exactly. I think the same thing happened for Post Malone. I'm sure I saw that in a Post Malone interview that he too was like got into Guitar Hero.
So talking about Post Malone, and you a bit earlier before the interview started, you mentioned Ed Sheeran. What is the person that inspires you the most, if you have such a person?
I mean, I think it's a lot of people. I mean, to get me into doing music and playing live, Ed Sheeran played a big part in it, just because I got into him when he was like pretty unheard of.
Yeah, when he started it.
Yeah, and I was like, this is sick, I want to do this as well. And then he kind of like went massive, and everyone was like, oh, you're just doing what he does. But
you were there in the beginning.
yeah, I was like, I feel like I was there with him, but he just made it a bit quicker.
From what I heard in some of your songs, your styles are similar in some ways,
Yeah.
but are quite different in different ways. Because as far as I'm aware, although he has some songs like that, he doesn't rap as much as you do. Can I say that you're rapping?
Yeah, I'm not a rapper. I'll say that I'm not a rapper. I've always said that, just because I'm not as talented as a rapper as like rappers are. But I really love rap music and hip hop, and so I try and
Blend it in.
I try and build it into my songs. I think the one rap song I've got is Grateful, and that was kind of just I wrote it in a couple of days, just messing around. I was like, why not? Let's just put it out there.
Do you want to talk about Grateful? Because I just mentioned it before. The song is great. Like I listened to Anthony first time live, and he was really good. Me and my cameraman today, we thought he was amazing, and that's why I really wanted to get in touch with him and talk to him and have an interview for the YouTube channel. And I listened to Grateful, and it's kind of a deep song, especially if you listen to it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Because and then if you follow his story, it's a really good thing, because Grateful came out after you did the Cambridge thing.
Yeah. And that was the point of the song. I wrote it as like, this is what I want to get off my chest. We've just had a bit of a hectic year, well, summer. So I just want to say a few things, and if I had written a song, it would have just gone on forever. So I was like, I need to put more words in, so it's going to have to be a rap. And yeah, the song, I don't think it's the best thing I'm ever going to put out.
No, but it's a good song, especially if you consider the fact that you waited in a few days.
Yeah.
And the music video, oh my god, you have to watch it, guys. Like honestly, it's.
I recorded the music video on my iPhone. My girlfriend was there behind there with a selfie stick as like a.
So it's a tripod.
Yeah, it's like a tripod, and we were walking around my local area, like, where can we film?
Do you want to tell them the story about the security guy in the underground?
Yeah, so there's a shot of it where I jump off a train and sing this or rap the song walking down the platform, and I had to beg the security guy to get me in to the train station. And then when I jumped on the train to jump off, when it pulled into the platform, he was behind the camera like, no, what are you doing, what are you doing? And then if you watch my hand movements all through that part of the song, there's like my girlfriend was walking backwards filming it, and there was loads of pylons in the way, so if you watch it, I'm kind of like, that way a bit, left a bit, right a bit.
Oh, that's actually really fun.
It was a proper DIY video. We shot everything in a day, and I edited it the day after, and then we released it the day after that. Yeah, it's probably not going to stay up forever in a day.
But like coming from that, you've come a long way with your latest single, and the one it's going to come up in July.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Temptations first of all.
Yeah, sure.
So he launched Temptations back in March, I think you said.
Yeah, March this year.
And it's a proper music video, like Grateful.
Yeah.
And what can you tell us about Temptations?
Well, it's a lot different to the sound of the old EP, and that was something that coming out at the end of the summer, coming on like the other side of Grateful, I was quite set on just playing around with my new sound, with like a different sound, because I was getting the Ed Sheeran like a lot, and that's all I was getting from my gigs. So it was like, rather than people coming up to me and was like, oh, that was sick, they would come up to me and be like, oh, you sound like Ed Sheeran, and it was like, thanks.
It's a good compliment.
It's a compliment.
You want to be yourself.
Exactly. I wanted to be in myself, so I spent a lot of time at my flat. We built a studio in my flat, and I was just playing around with different ideas, and that was kind of the first thing that came from it. It was like mixing the whole guitars with like the electronic kind of beats that I was into making, and I was just like, listen, I'm really proud of this. Let's just put it out there and see what people think of it. And people really liked it. It got played on BBC Introducing, which was a first for me.
Wow.
And
then people started to understand how big of a deal you're gonna be.
Yeah.
How good you are.
I like to think so. No, it was one of the I put it out there just to see what people thought of it.
To get a reaction.
Yeah, and we were due to release something, so I was like, we may as well do something new. So I put the budget together to shoot a music video properly. And the quality is, you can see it. Like, I'll let the links down in the description and up here, and you'll see it's completely different. It's a budgeted video. Yeah, it looks professional. And we got a professional crew in to do it. And yeah, it just felt like it was a step up, and that's what I wanted. And yeah, it got put on on a couple of the Spotify playlists. About Spotify, because a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people that might follow my channel don't know how to get into the music industry and don't know how to get on Spotify, how to get on this kind of platforms, on iTunes, and everything. How do you do that? When do you reach that level, and what do you have to do to actually become a featured creator on Spotify and iTunes? Well, I mean, anyone can put anything on Spotify. There's websites and apps. We use a company called TuneCore, where you pay a set fee for the year for them to put your stuff on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music, like everything. It's not too expensive to do. I think it was about 35 quid to do the whole of the EP last year. No, it's a good thing to know, because I know a lot of people that are interested in getting into the creative industry and are singers and musicians, and they don't know how to put more of their stuff out there. And they have small YouTube channels and they're trying that way, but you know, when you're on Spotify and your songs might get mixed into different playlists, you get a bigger reach, because that's the final goal. Getting all the playlists, featured on the playlist was a bit of a surprise for me, because we didn't send it off to be considered or anything. Yeah, someone just found it. Yeah, someone just found it and put it on the playlist, and I was like, sick. Yeah, that's really good, yeah. So about July the 13th. Yes, July the 13th, new song, Your Side. Yeah, I was saying before, I'm really excited for this song. It's a song that I've had written for a long time, and there's so many different versions of it where it's like, nah, not quite right. So it's like your baby project. Yeah, it has been. We've worked on it for so long, and there's been so many people involved in making it and putting it together, and I'm just so excited. We shot another video for it. So do you mind if I play 2 seconds of the song for the people to hear? Yeah. Yeah, that's enough. If you want to hear more of the song, you have to check out Anthony's channel. You'll post it on your channel. His Spotify links, iTunes, and everything will be down in the description. So the music video will come out on the 13th of July. Yep, at midnight on the 13th, which is a Friday. Are you excited? And nervous? I can feel it from your tone of voice. I'm nervous just because Temptations did well, and that it was quite big for me. and I really want this one to be just as big. if not bigger.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, sure.
I'm just excited about the song because I had the pleasure of listening to it both recorded and live, and I think it has a chance of being a really good song. It has a really summer-like vibe, but for me, because if people have followed my channel, they know I'm quite critical when it comes to music, and especially with very mainstream music nowadays. I think it's just poor written and really repetitive. And I think Anthony has that thing in it that makes it a mainstream song, but a quality mainstream song, if you know what I mean. So I think it will do really well, especially with the release date being around the middle of the summer, and I think it's a really summer-like vibe song. So yeah, I just hope you'll have a lot of success with this song.
Thank you very much. No, I hope it does well. that's what I'm most nervous about, just that it does well. But I'm sure it will do. I trust it.
What about upcoming projects? You said you said you had kind of due dates when you think you might have to release different songs. So after your side, when do you think will be your next project? Like beginning of the fall?
Yeah, I'd say we're going to judge it on how well your side does and what comes of your side. But after that, I think probably about end of summer, start of autumn kind of time is probably about right to drop something new. I don't know what it's going to be yet.
Yeah, obviously. No. I'm just asking because people might want more of your stuff, and you have how many songs do you have out there as of today?
8? Oh no, it'll be 8 when
your side
comes out. I think, yeah.
So 8 songs, there's quite a bunch of songs, but people might want more of you after they find out about you. So that's why I'm asking. And what about live? Where can people see you?
I am playing at the Cambridge Big Weekend on July 14th.
Okay. Also right after you release.
Exactly, the next day.
Interesting, okay.
Very, very handy. So that's coming out then. So yes, so we've got the song on the 13th, the Cambridge Big Weekend on the 14th. That's on Parker's Piece. My stage time is 5:30.
So somewhere in the afternoon towards
okay. I'm on the local band stage, and Grassroof are going on after me.
Okay. Grassroof is the band you might have seen in one of my video blogs for a few months ago when they were playing a gig for an open day for the university, if you remember that. So just so you know who we're talking about.
They're pretty good. Yeah, and then I'm really annoyed with myself that I missed the boat on the festival season. So that's kind of the only festival I'm doing. And then we're planning a return to Cambridge show because I'm spending some time in London at the moment over the summer.
Yeah, obviously.
I don't know when or necessarily where, but I think we're going to do...
From October maybe?
September, October.
Yeah, it's a safe date to consider basically. You'll be back for a few weeks and then you'll see how many places around. So yeah, if you want to see Anthony live, just come and watch him in Cambridge, 14th of July in Parker's Piece or in the Big Weekend, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And follow me because I haven't got any gigs yet, but I will be posting everything. Yeah,
and the more followers and views he gets, the more gigs he'll get as well, and you get more chances to see him.
Definitely.
And maybe, like, I don't know, a year time, maybe you'll start touring as well. Did you consider that?
Yeah, it's on the cards.
It depends on the reception of future projects, I guess.
I feel I need to get a bit bigger first before I think about that, but it's definitely a stage that is going to come to at some point.
Well, Anthony, thank you very much.
Well, thanks for having me.
Do you feel more confident about beatboxing now?
I'll do. Okay, fine. If this looks cheesy when you edit it, feel free to just cut it out.
Yeah, sure. I feel that people will love it anyway.
I won't be offended if you cut it out. I'll do the intoxicated beatbox because that's quite simple. That's all you're getting.
That was good enough. Thank you very much.
There you
Anthony.
go.
A round of applause. Make it really
cringy.
who applauds on a video? But thank you very much. It was very nice to meet you, and hope to see you in future projects soon. Don't forget his dates, 13th of July, Your Side coming out, official music video, Anthony Rubery YouTube channel, and Spotify and everywhere else. 14th of July, concert live, Parker's Piece around 5 p.m. or onwards in Cambridge. And thank you again.
No, thanks.
We're gonna handshake. We're gonna handshake again when we leave, but it's a video, so that's what we have to do to cringe. And that's all for today. If you have any words you want to tell the audience, the camera.
You can follow me on Twitter, Spotify, not Spotify. We'll save that for later. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that stuff. Just search for Anthony Rubery Music. That's Anthony with a H. Rubery is in rubbery, but with one B. Add a music on the end of that, and you'll find me on all of social media. Take the music off, and you'll find me on Twitter. We've already done that.
On YouTube.
On YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and all of that good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, everything will be down in the description anyway. And check out the music video. And see you next time, guys. Thank you.